Ketosis, which is using fat as fuel instead of sugar or carbohydrates, is like switching to hybrid mode for steadier energy. Here are the deal breakers, and these are the things you want to pause and modify. So if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, don't go strict without medical guidance. So carnivore is clarity. If you need less noise, not more rules, it might be perfect for the next 30 days. Ketosis, which is fat as fuel, happens naturally when your carbs are near zero. You don't need a calculator for this. So carnivore is simple, but your life, it isn't. So let's do an honest audit of who thrives, who should pause, and how to test it safely without guessing for months. So if moderation worked, honestly, you wouldn't be here. Carnivore strips food down to animal foods only: meat, eggs, seafood, butter, poultry, fish. It's not a personality, it's a tool. So let's find out if it's your tool. Welcome to episode 112 of the Obesity Project. My name is Dr. Mark Shankman. Today, we're talking about the pros, the cons, and the deal breakers, and if carnivore is right for you. So here's why it works. Insulin, your storage hormone, like a key that opens the storage unit, lower insulin levels means easier access to stored fat. Ketosis, which is using fat as fuel instead of sugar or carbohydrates, is like switching to hybrid mode for steadier energy. And we need to remove hyperpalatable foods, which create cravings and also gives your gut a break. Things like less fermentable foods, foodstuffs, which means less gas and bloating. So here are the pros. Cravings, they absolutely quiet. You get fewer food thoughts. You get satiety from protein and fat and easier eating windows. Glucose stability, which creates fewer crashes. And of course, glucose stability is blood sugar, a stable blood sugar throughout the day. GI calm for many with bloating or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Decision simplicity. 2 solid meals, salt, done. Really very, very simple, very easy. And green flags by weeks 2 to 3. So you get less snacking, flatter energy, calmer gut, better sleep onset. So better, you fall asleep faster. Now, some of the cons. You're going to experience some social friction, things like in restaurants or events or a meeting with family. There is an adaptation period, usually about a week or so, especially if electrolytes are low, things like headache and fatigue and cramps. In future episodes, we're going to talk about how to get past that adaptation week. Some of the other cons, you get a dairy creep, so cheese can be insulin spiky for some people. So it can spike your insulin levels. A monotony risk. You need to rotate cuts like ribeye and New York strip and ground beef, lamb, salmon, sardines, eggs. Move things around, change it up a lot, and you won't find this monotony of eating. And then sometimes cost for premium cuts are a con. So you can certainly do this on a budget. Use ground beef and roasts, eggs, canned fish. Okay, here are the deal breakers. And these are the things you want to pause and modify. So if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, don't go strict without medical guidance. If you have an active eating disorder history, work with a clinician if you want to input or begin an animal-based diet program or carnivore. If you're on meds for glucose and or blood pressure, you want to coordinate these meds with your physician, because the numbers can change very quickly and you don't want to end up hypoglycemic or hypotensive, like low blood sugar or low blood pressure. If you feel worse after 2 to 3 weeks, despite eating enough protein, which ideally is about 1 gram per pound of goal weight, then you want to make sure you're getting that protein, those calories, and electrolytes. Electrolytes are things like sodium, potassium, magnesium. And then it may not be the right tool for you right now. So here's a 5-question fit test. 1, what is your main goal? Is your main goal insulin resistance, cravings, GI chaos, autoimmune noise, weight? You're going to do different things based on these goals. And number two, can you do can you do 2 simple animal-based meals for 30 days? And number 3, are your electrolytes ready? You want your sodium around 4 to 6 grams per day, magnesium about 3 to 400 milligrams per day, fluids to thirst. So drink as much as you feel thirsty. When you're no longer thirsty, you don't need any more fluid. So you can actually pre-package that. You can get Element, you can get other electrolyte supplements to meet those standards. Number 4, a dairy plan. You want to skip milk and yogurt for about 30 days, and you want to use hard cheeses sort of minimally or sparingly, because those can cause you to overeat. Number 5, tracking wins. Things like cravings and energy and digestion and sleep. Optional labs as well, things like fasting insulin levels, A1C, triglycerides to HDL ratios, C-reactive protein. So you want to track those wins. You want to write down, like journal, how you feel each week. You know, those cravings, did they come and go? Did they stay there? Or, you know, did you crave carbs? Energy levels, did they fluctuate or were they even keel? Digestion, did you have problems with constipation or diarrhea? Sleep, did you have problems sleeping? Did you have problems falling asleep? Did you have problems staying asleep? Were you waking up earlier than normal? So carnivore is clarity. If you need less noise, not more rules, it might be perfect for the next 30 days. Ketosis, which is fat as fuel, happens naturally when your carbs are near zero. You don't need a calculator for this. And so for the printable fit test and starter plan, click the link in the first comment or in the description, and I'll throw a copy of that in there for you. And don't forget, here on the Obesity Project, we're cutting through the myths and we're getting to the root. So stay tuned. Coming up next in episode 113, ketosis without math. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. See you soon.